Hi, everybody. Welcome to round two, live sessions. Um, so, earlier we had on, if you didn't see Gabrielle Metz, make sure you check her out. She has a new song out. And right now we're going to have on Christina Huff. I knew that was coming. Hey, Zach. What's up, friend? Been a long time, bro. Christy is just so much fun. She's such a fun person and has such good music. And I was listening to her album all day today. So if you haven't heard it, do that. Here we go. Here we go, guys. Hopefully.
Hey!
Yay! Hi!
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm excited. My EP's out, so I'm excited. And I'm happy to be, it's been a while. I think it's been 2020 and 2021 are a blur. It was one of those years.
Yeah. I'm going to be super honest. I couldn't find it when I was scrolling because I was wondering too. And I was like,
yeah.
I give up.
I think it was 2020.
I want to say 2020
It was quarantine, you know?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. How have you been?
I've been good, I wrote a lot of music during quarantine. So now I've just been releasing it, the last couple months, and then have finally put it all, most of it in an EP. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Yay. Okay.
How have you been?
Oh, I've been good.
Good.
We'll just sum it up.
Yeah. I know. It's been a lot of but overall,
Overall, yeah, it could be better, but it's not terrible too,
That's good. That's good.
I feel like it's good. But I've been, truth be told, I've been listening to your album all day.
Thank you.
Gabby's.
Yes, I know. We always
release
stuff on the same day. I love it.
Yes. So we were just talking about that, and it's so funny because I didn't really notice that until I kind of went back and was looking, and I don't know why I'm yawning. I'm
contagious.
I did. And it does seem like you guys are kind of in sync,
We are. Yeah. It's fun. I'm and we're good friends. So it's and we never plan it, but it just so happens. So I'm and we always say one of these days we need to have a release show together, whether she's in LA or I'm in Nashville, So one of these days it'll happen. Maybe we'll come to Seattle.
Yes. I was just gonna say, can you do it when I'm in one of those cities?
Yes. We'll do it either when you are with us, or we'll just come to you. Yeah.
Yes.
I want an excuse to go to Seattle, so.
I love it. You guys just are so much fun, and I would love to see you guys together. That would be amazing.
Whenever I'm in Nashville, we always try to do at least a writer's round together. So it's fun.
That's awesome. I feel like that's what is happening right now. I feel like it is so not you, friend. I'm so sorry, everybody.
And I'm no kidding.
Yeah.
No, I feel you. I want to yawn.
Yeah, I just don't even know. It's when you start getting old like I am, the yawns just come earlier and earlier as you go. It's only 6:30.
Hey, it's 6:30. Okay, it's on a Friday. I'm it's almost time for bed. It's almost time for me to get in and watch Netflix for the rest of the night, and then be good.
Yeah. I personally can't because I'm going to a show where my friend that lives in Nashville, he's here playing. So
nice. Wait, where? I'm I want to take notes. Where is he playing? I want to play there.
It's this awesome place. It's this awesome place called the Lime in Kirkland.
Okay. The Lime in Cleveland. When I plan like a tour, I'm gonna be like messaging you and ask you like the best places to reach out to in that area. Like in Seattle.
Yeah. Oh my god. It depends on if you have a band or not, so we'd have to decide that. But
okay.
Yeah. Hi Ryan, if you're on here. Yes, I probably do need coffee, but you know, we're just gonna look past that. I'm holding out that I'm not that old yet. I'm holding out. But yeah, geez, if you came up here, that would just make me a happy person.
That would be so fun. We'd have to like hang out and then do a show.
Yes. Oh, that would be amazing. But I am just, okay, truth be told, you did a Killers cover. And
yes.
I wasn't sure your little snippet of it. I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. You know, like I had to
no,
I love that
I thought I might have that reaction, you know, it's like it's a hit or miss.
yeah and I was like, I don't know about this, like I because that song in particular just is like my youth, and so I'm you're getting mad at me, well fine then. So I was like so excited about it being on there, and I was like, oh, a country version, a different version.
Like, how is that gonna be?
I was like, I don't know about this. So then today I was like listening to all your songs and getting a feel for the EP and all of that. And I was like, I think I got it. I think I like it. I think I'm okay with it.
Yay! Okay, good. I tried. I was like, we could either go like two ways, like completely change it and make it like old school country, or I'm like, I try to keep the vibe, but then just like add more country like instrumentation to it, you know? So I'm like, I hope, because you know, a song like that, so you can't change it too much because everybody knows it and everybody loves it. So you don't want to like butcher it, you know?
Right. And that's where that whole that's where that whole thing comes from, is like, you know, I feel like if I was singing and stuff, the whole covers thing, I mean, that's like my first anxiety is like, am I gonna butcher? You know, like
I'll kid you not, I had more stress like recording vocals for this song than like any of like my own songs, because it's like nobody knows any of my songs, and they think like the way that I sing it in the studio and release it, they think like, oh, that's the way that it's meant to be, I guess, you know? But like, a cover song, I probably I redid the vocals 3 times for Mr. Brightside. Because I was like, I want to get it right, but then it's also like, you know, I'm not the Killers. So it's like my voice is different. So I'm like, I'm trying to like put that like inner like Brandon Flowers in me, you know? But then also trying to keep it. So but yeah, it was fun. It's like really fun to do. And I learned doing the song, I'd never really like realized the verses are exactly the same both times, like lyrically. So I was like, oh, I like never really realized that until now.
But how did you come to pick that song? Like, what was the thought behind that?
Yeah, so I released a cover song last year, Dua Lipa's Don't Start Now. And I released that one. I love that. First of all, I love Dua Lipa and I love that song. And also it was like a current song at the time when I released it. So I wanted to release something that like everybody knows and loves, but wasn't released a month ago, you know? And so I was like kind of like doing I'm like, what's a song that like is timeless that everybody knows that like would be fun? And I was like, oh my gosh, everybody loves Mr. Brightside, and I've never like heard a girl sing it, and I've never like, you know, heard like a country version. So that's kind of how. And then I like spoke to my producer. I was like, what do you think about like doing a country version of Mr. Brightside? And he was like, oh my gosh, we have to do it, you know, because he loves, you know, the Killers too. So yeah, it's fun. I'm like the Killers, tagging them, share it. No kidding.
I mean, I think it's, you know, it took me a minute, and it's not that it wasn't good or you didn't do a good job or anything.
No, but it's different. It's just like hearing something different.
Yeah.
No, I feel you. Yeah.
So it was just this like, you know, and there's some covers where you're like, is it really doing the song justice, or
Yeah.
like all these things, with music anyway. But I've heard some covers where they're better than the original,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you're
It's just like done in a different way. Well, and it's
yeah,
like you have to like the Dua Lipa song "Don't Start Now." It's very different. My version is very different than her version.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like you kind of have to, if you can make it different, do it. But then it's like if you can't really make it that much different and it doesn't do it justice, then like keep it the vibe how it is, I guess, and then just try it and put your spin on it,
Yeah.
So it's fun. This is my second cover song that I've put out, so it's really fun. But yeah, definitely I had more stress recording this song than I than I did like any of my other songs, because too it's like when you record your own songs, it's like I wrote the songs, I have the emotion to it. It's like to put emotion into a cover song, it's just different because I'm like, I have some kind of like nostalgic connection or love for the song, but I didn't write the song. So it's like trying to put myself where I think they were when they wrote the song, but like you can't ever truly know where they were and have that same emotion. You know what I mean? So that's why I was stressed, but I'm excited. Yeah.
You did such a great job, and I think you came across like that and I think that's a really good point for people that do cover songs. Like if you're gonna do it, at least pretend like that emotion is there,
applies to you. And, yes.
You can't bring, it's like, have you heard the song Anyone by Demi Lovato?
Yes, I love that song. Yeah.
So my thought is that song is so emotional and just so deep, right? So I feel like with an example is like if you're going to tackle that song, say with vocals aside, you're going to tackle a song like that, or even a happy song, whatever. You have to have that emotion and at least try and summon inside yourself. To get what they're trying to express as well, whether you're putting your own spin or not. And
exactly.
I don't know.
Well, and it's interesting because like even like when choosing a cover song, I was like, I wouldn't do a song like, okay, like I'm a country singer. I wouldn't do like a Carrie Underwood song or a Miranda Lambert song, because everybody would be comparing me to them, and we're too like much already in the same type of realm that it would be like, no, I can't really make this my own, really, So that's another thing, like when choosing cover songs too, I'm like, I'm trying to, I mean, the Dua Lipa song, I guess, was different because it was a girl, but I'm like, I'm trying to almost like pick male songs, because then it's like, they can compare me to the guy, but it's like, it's hard to compare like a girl singing it to a guy singing it. You know what I mean? So and then also, you can kind of make it more of your own.
Yeah, exactly. And trying to compare making it your own and how you hear it, and rather than the original or whatever the case is. And make it something that will satisfy the listener too. And maybe they haven't even heard the killer song. And
exactly. Maybe they're like, whoa, what's this new song?
Exactly.
So and why is she saying she's Mr. Brightside? What?
Yeah. And that's exactly the point, So I think it's an interesting, notion to try and tackle things that aren't normally in your realm, that aren't really in your range, maybe.
Exactly.
Where, I mean, it's in your range, but like you don't normally sing that. You know what I'm talking about?
Exactly.
And like challenge. I think it's a good way to challenge yourself, and just be able to give people something different that they wouldn't hear before when hearing you.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think too, it like, already it piques interest. It's like, we're putting out music all the time, but then it's like the thing about cover songs, where I feel like is why like people are like, yeah, you should do covers to get people's attention, is because, if I release, like my song like Black and White, they're like, oh cool, I'll get to it. But if I'm like Mr. Brightside, they're like, what? I'm curious now. So then they'll go and listen to it and hopefully maybe like it, or like stumble upon my stuff too. You know what I mean? So it's like there's so much. There's a lot of reasons, but I think that it's just like fun to like kind of do something different, you know?
Yeah. Have you so who is your, I forget because it's been so long, but who is your favorite like musician that's not in country?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I'm going somewhere with this.
Favorite musician that's not in country.
Yeah.
Man. Man, this is hard. Well, okay, right now I'll just because I just saw her in concert. Dua Lipa. I mean, and I covered her song last year, but I love her. I think she's amazing. Another person that now came to mind, Katy Perry too. I love them both, like stage presence, and then they're just fun, upbeat songs, and they're also songs that I'm like, man, I don't know if I could ever do a song like that. You know what I mean? Like myself.
Yeah. So where I was going with it, let's take Katy Perry. Okay. Since you've already done Dua Lipa.
Yes.
So my thought is that, you know, could you see yourself like trying to change you know, anything about their songs? I mean, Dua Lipa, you kind of stuck to her song. So my thought is, you know, kind of with the Killers and taking somebody out of your genre that's a female, right?
Yes.
And doing it in your like Kissed a Girl maybe, or
yes. And you could even like make it like a like I think it's also kind of cool. Like I love hearing cover songs just like as a listener when it's like a fast upbeat song. And like I mean even Lady Gaga once did, it was her own version, but she did it in a different way. Poker Face. She did like a slowed down version of Poker Face. And it was like emotional like, in a different way. And so I love hearing covers done a different way, especially like the fast, especially like a fast, like, oh, he's like, what's out there?
It's another dog.
Oh
no. Hey, down. Get down. Get down.
He's so, is it a boy or a girl? She.
So I'm at my big sister's house. Hey, come here. Sorry, people. Hey, come here. Sit.
Like we are live, you guys. If you didn't know.
I can't put him in another room. There isn't one to put him in. He will just cry. But I agree. I think it's just this. I think it's so great though. Like being able to have the talent to be able to change somebody's music to make it sound good and do it in your own way. And so what I was going with Katie is like, I feel like that would be fun to just take something that fun. And like you were saying, maybe take it, you know, country's kind of slowed down, you know, a little.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like if you take her, I kissed a girl and I liked it, you know, this whole beat of like, happy, and then you bring it down and you're just like, you know, I'm not going to sing for you all, but I'll leave that to you. But, you know, if you bring it down and strip it and, you know, kind of put the, I don't know, slide guitar or something on it, you know, like just make it really country. You know, I love when people can change it in a way that makes it interesting.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, and then you're like, you hear something that you know in a different way. You know? Yeah. Like a couple years ago, I think when Taylor Swift released 1989, Ryan Adams released a whole recorded her whole 1989 album in his own way. So it was like, it was interesting. At first, honestly, I listened to it. I'm like, I don't know if I like this. But then some of the stuff, I'm like, oh, actually, I almost like this version of this song that he does a little bit better than this version. You know what I mean? It's just like different. So it's kind of cool.
My favorite band is Hanson.
Nice. I saw them live a couple years ago.
I've seen them live. Sadly, I've seen them live since 1997. I've seen them live 17 times.
Okay, and so you're a super fan.
Oh, it's ridiculous. People will tell you. They're all over my truck. Like it's ridiculous.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so like they redid this version of U2, which U2 is iconic. Okay,
that's super cool.
Yeah,
they did like a boy band version.
Yeah.
That's
way
cool.
back, 80s version. And they redid In a Little While, the song called In a Little While.
Okay.
And so I just think of when people do like covers, it's like I want it to be something like that where it's just spot on, and not because they're my favorite band, but because I mean they've done Michael Jackson, they've done everybody, you know, and
yeah,
it's interesting, and not even in their genre either, you know, like
yeah.
they've done comedy, they've done rap, they've done it all. So I feel like, you know, if you're going to tackle something that's not in your genre, it's actually pretty brave, you know, because you have to really switch that mind and like change.
How would we do that? Yeah, yes.
Yeah, but at the same time, still making it yours and who you are as a musician.
Yeah, not just the genre, but then also like what's consistent with what you're doing too. Yeah.
Which I think Mr. Brightside went perfectly with those songs. Like it was like,
okay, good.
Had this like this theme, you know?
Yeah.
It fits. You know?
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I did listen to like everything like in order today, and I was like, okay, I feel good.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I've been listening to it all day, and
Thank you.
My favorite, like I was texting her earlier, and I was gonna say, I love Black and White. That is my.
Thank you.
I have that on repeat for a while. Like I was like, that was the first song when I put because I'd put you and Gabby and you and Gabrielle in.
Yeah.
In a like a mix, you know.
Oh, cool.
Get the feel for your guys' new music.
Like yeah.
And so that one was the first one to pop up, right? And I was like, well, hot damn. And then I repeated it, and then I was like, oh, I gotta go on because they're gonna come on soon, and I gotta get a feel for it. But then, like a couple hours after I listened to it all, a couple hours later, I was like, I'm just gonna go back to this one.
Oh my gosh! Yeah! I'm so happy.
So I mean, that song is brilliant, friend. I mean, of the whole album, the whole album's great, but like,
thank you.
I feel that one a little bit more in my core than the other ones.
Yes, no, that one. I mean, writing that song, I wrote it like basically that was like the song that I wrote right after I was like dumped. So like my feelings were like very raw. You know what I mean? Like it was like I you know, I feel like and like you're creative too, so it's like, you know how it is where it's like there are some songs where it's like I just need to write this because I'm feeling a certain way and I just need to get my emotions out. Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
And that's what Black and White was. So yeah. I'm glad that you like it.
Yeah, I mean, I just recently a couple months ago had a breakup too, and it's and I think that's kind of why it's so raw and new, but like but
like I hate you and I love you at the same time.
Yeah,
like why?
Yeah. And it's really a great notion though. Like I love the idea of that, like nothing is black and white. It's all mixed, it's all gray, it's all like you can hate somebody with the fury of hell but love somebody with the love of God at the same time.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just you know,
I know. It's like, come on.
You know, it's just that fight. And I think it was just brilliantly done and brilliantly written, and I loved it. My favorite for sure.
Thank you.
I love the Killers, but that one tipped it. I was like, yes, I'm here.
I'm a sad bop person. Like I love sad bops. I'm like to a fault. I'm like I need to start writing like more upbeat songs. But it's like it's funny though, like when you're happy, like I'm in a happy relationship now, but like when you're happy, you're just busy being happy with the person that you're like, oh, I'm not like alone depressed sitting in my emotions needing to write a song. Like, you know what I mean? Like so I'm like I should sit with like my happy feelings too, but it's more raw, like, you know.
Here's the thing. I know two musicians that one, his theme is sad is sexy, and
nice.
His songs are so sad, but they're brilliant, right? And then you have another, and his songs are just like lyrical fire too. And his songs are sad too. But I feel like if that's where your niche is, right? And where you find the most inspiration, or you write the best, whatever. It doesn't matter, you know, because
a song, like, people connect to songs that, like, I've found that, like, the songs that people connect to the most of mine are ones that I connect to the most, you know, that I've like, I wrote because I was like, I just need to get this emotion out, you know what I mean? So which is like reassuring, because I'm like, cool, like, you know how like this industry, I feel like we're always like, go, go, go. Okay, I need to do this. And what's popular right now? What's trending right now? What do I, you know what I mean? And I think, like, at the end of the day, it's like, you just have to do you, you know? And I think people will connect to that the most, you know, at the end of the day.
Yeah. And I think that's probably the most truest statement. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's what,
and you want to release things that you like too, you know, or like that you're proud of, or you feel.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, I could say with my own music, you know, it was, especially the one I released in, I think, 2020, it was difficult because it is such a sad song. And I was like, is this really what I want people to remember me for? If I never release anything ever again, which isn't going to happen, but if I never release something again, is this really what I want the world to see, you know, my one hit wonder? And it was like, you know, at the end of the day, somebody's going to connect with it. Somebody's going to feel it. Somebody's going to hear it and be like, dude, like, that's
like, I feel this.
I was there. I've been there, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And it's subjective, I think, you know, to who.
Exactly. Well, exactly. It's like, you can't ask, you could ask 10 people if they like this thing, like a song, and like, you know, it depends on the 10 people that you ask. Maybe none of those 10 people will like it, but then 10 people over here will. Like, you know, it's so subjective, and it's, I don't know, like, I've kind of come, as I've gotten older and, like, you know, more, I guess, like, immersed in my career or whatever, I've just kind of come to, like, the conclusion where it's like, I just want to release things that I want to release and do things that I want to do, you know, because, you know how it is. It's like, for a while I was like kind of trying to like chase, and sometimes I get lost in that, where it's like, oh, what's trending? I need to do this 30-second video to post on TikTok because maybe it'll go viral, and da-da-da. It's like, that can't be why you're doing this. You know what I mean? Like,
and I think that's where TikTok's a whole nother situation.
I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it, and I love it at the same time.
I get lost in the spiral for sure. Like, it's just this down spiral, like a toilet, you know? You're just like, oh. But at the same token, you know, I think that's where musicians are starting to get lost, and they're like, oh, I have to do media. Excuse me. I have to do media. I have to do social media. I have to do TikTok, and I have to post 3 things a day. And at the end of the day, the Beatles did not get to the Beatles the way they were because of social media. Rolling Stones weren't around the last 7 decades because of social media, you know? So, like, artists, I understand the need, but I feel like people are getting lost in that, and they're doing songs to, it's going to be the next best thing. And not,
or like, this is really popular right now. This is this right now. And it's like, you want to, like, I feel like it's just, everybody's looking for like their viral moment, you know what I mean? And then but it's one of those things where it's like, everybody goes viral nowadays, and so then it's like, if everybody's going viral, then like, is anybody viral? Like,
exactly. Especially with TikTok. I mean, it seems there's a lot of musicians that come out of that because of trends, you know, because of dance trends, or whatever the case is. And, you know, and I feel like, okay, that's fine, but, you know, stick to who you are as a musician. You know, if you only have, I don't know, 500 people on your Instagram, come to see you, then for me, I feel like you're you've made it. Who gives a shit if you're on TikTok or not, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's so dumb. It's like, yeah, to follow trends, it's like you're not really being like I wish that it was like the day and age where it's like, cool, I just released my full-length album. I'm gonna go in the woods for the next year and write my next one and then disappear and then come back and release that again. But it's like now we live in just where it's like song, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, oh, I just
and the pandemic didn't help that, you know. The pandemic,
it made it even worse.
Yeah, so now nobody's releasing albums because nobody's buying them.
Exactly.
And now it's all digital. So you know, and I'm from the age of having it tangible, you know?
Yeah.
So like I want an album. I want the album and I want to display it and I want to have it in my hand and put it in a CD player.
Yeah, and
you know?
No, exactly. I feel like only some people can get away with that, like Taylor Swift, you know, because she does it where it's like, oh, you'll get the deluxe album with, you know, a poem with you know, if you buy it at Target, you know what I mean? So, but you know, she's the only one who, I know, where I'm like, I feel like there's only a handful of people who can do that, you know? If I were like, guys, buy my album, you'll get a poem that I wrote, they'll be like, nah.
Well, you know, you did a bandana.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that was when I first had known of you, and you know, it's like I think that was, you know, if you could come up with something creative and fun to do, that's where I think people gravitate, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
You're only Taylor Swift.
Okay. Now I can hear you.
Yeah. Sorry. Only Taylor Swift could get away with doing a poem, you know, because everybody's like, how do you write all your songs? You know?
Exactly. Yes.
You know, I know. But for the Norn people like you and I, it's like,
it has to be like, hat? I have to like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, like here's a hat. Here's a swimsuit.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, maybe that's but my next thing. I'm gonna do a swimsuit.
Yes, right? I mean, jeez. But I don't know. Can you kind of, I know we're kind of running out of time, but can you kind of give us a background what went into this album? And I know we got way off track, but
I know, sorry,
a little bit.
Like the overall, I guess, like kind of theme of this album, you know, I wrote it kind of like, you know, in quarantine and I guess on the way out too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I, you know, it's like black and white. It starts with kind of like the beginning of my breakup and how I felt with it all. And, you know, and then that went into Palm Reader, which is a song that I wrote, you know, during the same time as Black and White. But I was like thinking of it more in a way of like, okay, like this relationship is over, you know, who am I gonna be with next? You know, then you start kind of thinking more about the future. And I'm like, it would be so cool to like have somebody who could tell me who the next person is. So that's kind of like the idea of Palm Reader, where it came in. And then Halfway Fell, where it's kind of like, where it's like this realization of like, oh, I'm like over, like my life is way better without you. And why was I sad about you? I didn't fall for you as hard as I actually thought. Because I feel like right after you break up with somebody, you're like devastated and like, oh my gosh, like they were my everything. And then like after you've had some time to reflect, you're like, what? Why was I so hurt over that person? You know what I mean? Like my life is way better. And then with Blow Off Steam, you know, that is a song that's kind of different. Not so much related to like the love aspect, but more of like in quarantine, you know, like I wrote that song in quarantine when I was stuck inside my house and just so tired of it, you know, and just wanted to escape. So that's where that song came from. And then, you know, to tie it all together, it was like, I want to do a song that everybody knows in a different way. And then that's where Mr. Brightside came along.
I love it. I love your kind of thought process for it. You always have like an agenda behind it.
Thank you.
It's like, it's so fascinating to me because I I only have started asking people about like their albums and why they choose the songs they do and how they come to it, you know, and so many people are like, oh, it's a story. And you're like, well, shit, I wish I would have realized that when I was listening to it. You know? You know? So it's one of those things where and then you're like, did I really listen to it? I need to go back and listen to it.
I need to go back and listen.
You know, listen for a new perspective, you know?
Yeah.
I just love that you're so smart when it comes to that stuff.
Thank you. Oh no, thank you. No, I'm like, and I love all of the songs. I'm proud of all of them for different reasons. So I'm excited. I'm like, it's a little bit, I guess, of like not a downer, but like, I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
I'll have my party EP next.
Yes. Well, we'll have to have a party up here when you come up here.
Okay, good. I need inspiration. I've been in quarantine, you know, the last 2 years. I'm just now getting it back into life. So
yeah, you can write about all of the rain.
Oh, good. I mean, you know, coming from Arizona and then LA, it's like it doesn't rain here. Yeah. I don't really know anything about that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, no kidding. Well, do you want to sing one of the songs or?
Yes, yes. I have my guitar.
Okay.
I'm gonna sing my favorite one on the album is Palm Reader. So I'm gonna play Palm Reader.
Okay.
And yeah, go listen, you guys.
Yay.
How do I get through it all? How do I get through the heartbreak? The crystal ball told us so that someday love would find a home, but when all you someday doesn't seem so far away. No, is it hopeless being a romance? 'Cause I'm so hopeless dreaming about your smile. If I was a palm reader, baby, then I would I could tell you your future. I'd say you were strong to live a good life, and one day you might find a wife, but I'm not a palm reader, but I know I'm your future. Baby, if I play my cards right, would you come home with me tonight? 'Cause I don't ever want to say goodbye. We're all Delta, deep ahead, we get along the best we can with what this life has to offer us. Is it hopeless being a romance? 'Cause I'm so hopeless dreaming about your smile. If I was a palm reader, baby, then I could tell you your future. If I was a palm reader, baby, then I could tell you your future. I'd say you were strong, live a good life, and one day you might find a wife, but I'm not a palm reader, but I know I'm your future. Oh, I know I'm your future. Oh, I know I'm your future.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Like, it was so much fun. It's always so fun. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for coming back on and sharing your song and your album. And I'm so excited for you. And
thank you.
Out, and he says bye.
Yeah, bye. Well, I'll let you know whenever I come down to Seattle.
Yeah. Yes.
And you let me know when you come to LA or Nashville.
Oh, I'd probably make it to LA before I went to Nashville.
Yeah, it's closer.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's closer. It's like 18 hours or something. So
yeah.
So much easier.
Way easier than like, I don't even know.
A 7-day drive to Nashville.
Yeah. Nah.
That was such a long drive. But I am so thankful for you coming back on and
of course, anytime. So thank you.
Yeah, I just love you, and I think
I
you're
love
amazing.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Have a good weekend.
Follow. Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.